time when you should just know about like how to practice this like subjects, like we talk about the accounting subject especially, and how to pass the accounting paper, and the best strategy and tricks to clear this examination, not only with the 50 marks, but we are talking about like very good marks. So today is your opportunity that builds the tomorrow you want. So let's start today's class. Before to start, I would like to say there is a flat 81% off is running, and this only valid till 11:59 p.m. of on today onwards. So you are going to get the flat 81% off on all the batches, like whatever the batches is running. That batches you are going to get in the bilingual as well as the English medium batches, as well as in the purchasing the mock test, as well as in purchasing the ebooks. You are going to get the flat 81% off. So you only have to use the code that is Y422, Y422, and that actually you can understand that is actually the lucky number, because 2 plus 2 that equals to 4. So you only have to use the code Y422, and with this code you're going to get the flat 81% off. So let's begin this class. And okay, one more important update that our target batch is started. So in the target batch you are going to get what you will just avail, like 60 plus ebooks, 80 plus topic wise test series, topic wise full mock test, ebooks, detailed subject expertise, recorded 24/7 lectures, as well as you can get the 130 hours plus live two-way interactive live classes, where you, if you're finding anything like if you're finding any problem at any chapter, you can directly interact with us. So that already you can avail with the Y422 code. With that you are going to get the flat 81% off. So now let's begin. Just understand like how to practice this accounting subject. So the very first thing that you have to understand for any kind of the subject, that what are the important chapters and what are the non-important chapters. If I talk about the particularly JAIIB examination, the very important thing that you have to understand in the JAIIB examination, just a minute here. So what I'm just saying here, that in the accounting subject, if I talk about that, each and every chapter, each and every topic is equally important. You cannot skip at single chapter, you cannot skip at any single topic, but still you just have to know that what kind of the chapters you have to practice regularly, and what type of the chapters you have a very good command over with. Like, so whenever we talk about the JAIIB examination, you are going to get a multiple questions from every single chapter, so that you can understand that how important to understand every chapter in this particular subject. Because you are going to get, if I talk about like what kind of the questions you are going to get in this JAIIB examination, so I will just say that you are going to get numerical questions, as well as you are going to get the conceptual questions, as well as you are going to get the theoretical questions, right? So these type of the questions you are going to get, and the case study type of the questions you are also going to get from this accounting subject, if I talk about only accounting subject here. So when we talk about the numericals, that that usually comes from the module A. The 80% of the numerical you are going to get the from module A, and the rest 10%, that is BRS, a banking reconciliation statement, and the rest 10% you can understand from the ratio analysis. And the very important thing I would like to tell you, that in this examination, if you are thinking that the most of the numericals you are going to get in the examination, so my dear friend, you are something wrong, because in this subject you are going to get the conceptual questions more than the numerical questions. Okay, so that means whenever we talk about the conceptual questions, so the very important thing that you have to understand, like what type of the conceptual questions we are talking about. Like if I talk about like conceptual questions, that means you should definitely know that which is what step you are going to do for calculating the numerical. Okay, so that means in the JAIIB examination you are going to get most of the conceptual questions, where you directly have to tell like after what step, like what you have to do, like what formula you have to use here. So that means that if I say that straightway numerical questions you are going to get in the examination, that is range between the 15 to 20, that would be the straightway numericals. Okay, and if I talk about the conceptual questions, you are going to get the most of the conceptual questions in the examination. So that's why understanding of the every chapter is a very important. Okay, so that's why the very important thing that you have to understand, know more about the important chapters, right? So whenever we talk about the important chapter, the very important thing that you have to understand, the very first chapter, that is a calculation of the YTM. Second chapter, that is the capital budgeting, and the third chapter is the depreciation and its accounting. Okay, because the most of the questions you are going to get from these kind of the chapters. Okay, so if I say that if you just understanding these important chapters, and if you're just going to practice these type of the questions from these type of the written chapters, so you are going to get, you are going to get a maximum marks in the accounting subject, and you will definitely cross the 50. And if you just if you just well practice these kind of the chapters. So calculation of the YTM, capital budgeting, depreciation and its accounting, foreign exchange, arithmetic, bank reconciliation statements, trial balance. And from the trial balance, if I say if you're going to get the 10 to 15 marks straight way, so this will not be wrong, because in the trial balance you're going to get the most of the questions that is related to how to just how to just rectify the errors, how what kind of the classifications. So you are going to get the theoretical as well as the numerical questions from this trial balance chapter. Ratio analysis chapter is a very important. Okay, because in from this chapter you're going to understand what is a current asset, quick asset, what is a different type of the ratios, solvency ratios, profitability ratios. So that means there are a lot of things that would covered under the ratio analysis chapter. And after that, company account one. And this company account one is a very important chapter, because in this chapter you're going to understand how to issue the shares, and what like how to company record the transactions of the any issuance of the shares process. Okay, so that you things you are going to understand in the company account one chapter. So if I talk about, just pen down that, because whatever I'm just explaining you, that is a very important thing. There are eight chapters that you have to understand with a very fine way. And I think everyone just everyone just pen down that. Okay, now the best way to practice, I just want to tell you that how to practice these kind of the chapters and these kind of the whatever you are learning. Suppose that if you just enroll in any kind of the batch, suppose that in the yesterday you actually studied a chapter, suppose that foreign exchange arithmetic. Okay, and if you just studied, so now this is a time when you should just revise as well as the practice the questions of that. Okay, so the very first thing that I would like to tell, if we are just talking about the accounting subject, and we are just assuming that the 50 days just remain for your examination, so now what you should just do, if I say in the morning session you should just dedicate at least if I say that at least 1 hour in the morning session, as well as a 1 hour in the evening session, so that you have to strictly follow. Okay, and if you just I just also want to say that, because you have to manage the three papers here, PPB, AB and LRAB. So I just also want to say that if you just studying through the batches. Okay, so then 30 minutes would also be sufficient, like in the evening as well as in the morning session. So 30 minutes also sufficient, but if you're preparing by your own, so I just want to suggest you, please dedicate the 1 hour in the morning as well as 1 hour in the evening session, before and after the banking hours. In the morning session, I would like to suggest you just dedicate your hours in the from the module for the module B, and module B and D. And after, like if talking about the rest of the 1 hour in the evening session, you can just dedicate the 1 hour into the module A and C, and just practice likewise. And what are the important chapters I just explained you have to practice that from these kind of the modules. Okay, so now I just want to tell you that best way to practice, the very first thing, that you should have a perfect reference material. If I talk about that, you should just you should have a Macmillan publication book, or you can also just purchase the Adda 247 publication book, because where you're just finding the everything that is important points that is penned down in that book, and important MCQs also you will find there. Okay, so if I talk about the accounting and finance for bankers, for the like reference material I'm just talking about, so in this you are going to get the latest edition book. The very first thing, that concept with the detailed approach, you are going to get key highlights for exercising for the each topic, and the 5 full length mock test you are going to get in this book. So this also you can purchase. And the one reference material that also should be with you, while you're preparing through the batches, or you are preparing by your own. Okay, so if I talk about you may have a Macmillan, or you may have a Adda 247 publication book. So that's why I'm just talking about like how to, how to just practice the chapters you are learning, how to practice the numericals. So like I say that, in the evening session you can practice the numericals, as well as you can practice the multiple choice questions that you can find anywhere. Okay, if you just writing like MCQs like on the accounting subject, and you will find the multiple MCQs related to multiple chapters, you can easily find anywhere, right? So I'm just talking about like the very first thing, that you should just understand the chapter. After that you should just practice the MCQs. And the correct time for practicing the mock test, that you can just practice mock test anytime, but the correct time is always the before 10 to 15 days of the examination. So if I talk about, you should just practice a mock test before the 10 to 15 days of the examination, and that mock test would be successful when you have practiced the MCQs. Okay, because practicing the MCQs before attempting the mock test is a very essential, because there you have to know that, there you have to know that what is the strongest point of your preparation, and what is the weakest point of your preparation. So that's why practicing MCQs is also very important for your JAIIB examination, right? Now the third thing that I'm just explaining you the very scoring chapters, like we discussed the important chapters. Now I'm just talking about the scoring chapters. Okay, from where you are going to get like minimum 7 to 8 marks from each chapters. If I talk about the yield to maturity, capital budgeting, foreign exchange arithmetic, trial balance, depreciation, bank reconciliation statement, ratio analysis, from that you are going to get the, these are just considered as a scoring chapters for your accounting subject. Just pen down that. Okay, because these chapters you are going to get the multiple like theoretical questions, as well as the numerical questions, as well as the case study type questions you are going to get from these chapters, right? So now I just want to tell you that how should just manage your time for your preparation of the accounting subject. So I would just suggest you that, follow daily YouTube classes. If I say that, like your accounting class of the English medium aspirants, daily YouTube class I just take at the 7 a.m. regularly, where I just discuss the MCQs. Currently module B MCQs is running, and you will find like MCQs classes in the playlist also. So just follow that. Okay, and these all are the lectures are just 30 minutes, and from that lectures, like I explained, I not explained only the question, I actually explained the concept behind the question, so you can understand very well from that MCQs. And the very important thing that in that 10 MCQs, like you are getting the knowledge about every chapters. Okay, so that is a very important thing. So you have to manage the time, like just the only thing that you have to manage the time, because you are the banker, and you know what is the value of the hard work, and you already done the hard work in your life. So you just know about that, how to manage the time. So like I'm just only explaining that in what things you should manage the time. Like if I talk about the follow daily YouTube classes of the AB at the 7 a.m. regularly, so that you have to just follow. And from whatever the videos you are watching on the YouTube or on the Officer Center 247, just make the short notes from that video. That means suppose that you are watching that is MCQs running, right? So if I just talking about like any important point, so just pen down that, just make short notes, because that actually work for you in the revision time, right? Now the third thing that is practice MCQs. Like I just explained you in the previous session, in the previous slide, that you have to practice the MCQs, and that MCQs you will find everywhere. Okay, so you only have to just write the MCQs, for suppose that we are talking about the chapter that is basic accountancy procedure, so you have to just write the MCQs on the basic accountancy procedure, and you will find the multiple questions based from that. So from the MCQs you are going to get the variety of the questions, you are going to get the variety type of the knowledge for this chapter. So that is a very important. And if you just practicing the MCQs daily at if I say that's a minimum 30 minutes, so that would work for you while just practicing the mock test, right? So that is a very important thing. So you should just manage the time here for practicing the mock test as well, right? So that's all for this session. Now I want to say only that just best wishes for your preparation, and just follow the daily classes on the YouTube. So if you're finding anything is important, just pen down that, because it would just make helpful in your revision time. Okay, and practicing the mock test, right? So now I just want to show you how you can enroll in our batches, because there are multiple the people just facing the problem while just enrolling the batches. So I just want to tell you that how you can enroll in the batches. So the very first thing that you have to visit the adda247.com, right? And where you can just find the where you can find the multiple batches that is actually running. So you have to go to the JIB CIB section. After that JIB section, and here you can find the multiple batches, or like that is actually running in the bilingual as well as the English medium batches. So and you can also just find the multiple like individual batches also running. Okay, if I talk about like you have to just if you just want to enroll the target batch, so this is a target batch, and the very first thing that here you can find the mock test ebooks as well as the live classes as well as the study plan, like at what date you are going to study what, right? So that also you are going to get. Now after that you have to go to the buy now section, and in this buy now section you have to apply the code that is Y422, and with this code you are going to get a maximum discount, and currently flat 80% off is running. So you are just going to get a maximum discount by this code, right? So that's all for this session, and hoping that everyone just enjoyed this session. So thanks for joining me here. Thank you everyone for watching this video, and like this video, share this video to your friends, to your colleagues, so that maximum number of our bankers can join with us in this session.